Okay, excellent start to the game. Raven 2 is a new dark fantasy MMORPG from Netmarble. It launched on mobile first on the 22nd of October, and now the PC client is available through the Epic Games Store. Their website promises a dark, gritty fantasy narrative, throwing players into a desperate war for survival against unspeakable evil. I've purposely avoided watching any gameplay footage of this. All I've seen are their flashy cinematics on the Epic Store page and the promotional bits on their website. So, this is a completely fresh first impression for me. Time to fire it up and see what Raven 2 truly has in store. After downloading yet another update right after launch, we finally hit the main menu. One upside, the download screen immediately hits you with some solid visuals and music. The cinematics look impressive, and the art style, well, imagine if Diablo got a makeover in Korea. That's the vibe it's giving off at the moment. The main menu itself shows what looks like actual in-game scenes, with the same music playing in the background. Although alarm bells immediately start ringing for me, with the text at the bottom centre of the screen saying, "Tap the screen." Okay, that doesn't work. Let's try clicking instead. Alright, with clicking finally working, we're taken straight to the character selection screen, which showcases the 8 classes in the game. The layout immediately reminds me of a Diablo or Path of Exile screen, with the characters standing around like statues waiting to be picked. From left to right, we have the Assassin, a melee DPS class, agile and deadly, very roguelike. The Divine Caster, a ranged support class, buffing and healing allies with divine magic, similar to a priest. The Deathbringer, a ranged DPS wielding necromantic powers to crush foes from afar. The Berserker, a frenzied warrior with heavy armour, swinging great swords and channeling classic warrior or barbarian energy. The Night Ranger, a ranged DPS specialising in handling multiple targets at once. The Vanguard, a sword and shield protection class giving strong warrior or paladin vibes. The Elementalist, a ranged DPS caster harnessing elemental magic to obliterate enemies. And finally, the Destroyer, the final ranged DPS class, using heavy weapons to devastate enemies from a distance. 8 distinct playstyles it seems, a mix of melee, ranged support and tanking. It looks like there's plenty of options here depending on your playstyle, which is decent. I'm craving some greatsword action, so let's go with the Berserker class. Right off the bat, there's some decent character customization with the looks of things, and the classes aren't gender locked, which is actually a nice surprise. Eastern MMOs have a tendency to lock classes by gender, so it's refreshing to see more freedom here. Alright, we've created our greatsword wielding Chad. Let's name him Firebeard, of course. Time to jump into some gameplay. Okay, looks like we've got 2 character slots with some additional slots either needing to be unlocked or purchased. Fairly standard MMO fare with the looks of things in terms of the slots, but something to keep in mind if you want a whole army of toons in the future. The intro cutscene starts, looks like some kind of demonic ritual, and oh, yeah, I can't show any of this on YouTube. Okay, now I can actually upload this bit without getting the video taken down. It seems we're using some sort of dark magic to attack the village. And then, boom, the title card of the game, Raven 2. Right off the bat, the voice acting is standard non-localised stuff, seems fine for now. We meet an ally called Gwen, looks like she's some sort of ranger. Okay, finally gameplay time. The camera is very stiff. Oh no, I kind of expected this, but yes, it's auto-pathing. And the tutorial is really holding my hand here, with the usual darken the screen and click here setup. Okay, time to fight some enemies, and the spacebar is basic attack, which probably means we can't jump. No abilities yet. Hit an enemy will automatically path me to another nearby target if they're close enough. And yeah, this doesn't feel good at all. Very janky right from the start. We kill a few zombies, quest complete. level up already, and we get 100 health potions. That's not a great sign. No quest markers on the minimap, just red dots for enemies. Our first ability unlocks at this level, an AoE attack, which auto-activates as soon as it's off cooldown. At least it's flashy, but I can already feel the mobile DNA creeping into this game. We level up again and get some potions to place onto our hotbars. Looks like they're consumed automatically as standard. You can tell the port from mobile was very standard. It looks like there's been next to no localization for PC here, barring the control scheme of course. Okay, a small cutscene, and it looks like our first boss. This should be really cool. It looks kind of cool. It looks sort of like a Dark Souls style boss. Let's see what's cracking. Oh, okay or not. There's literally no mechanics. I can't dodge the attacks, so it looks like a strategy just to face tank the boss while auto-attacking and drinking health potions. Yeah, this isn't looking good at all. A few short quests later, and it looks like we're finally in the open world. We wrap up the quest and get a breastplate as a reward, and are told the shop is now open, which is great. Our first upgrade though, so let's get it equipped and see what it looks like. Oh, it doesn't. It just doesn't look like anything, as it doesn't change how we look at all. Well, with the visual progression out of the window, let's see what's inside the shop. Looks like you can buy summon cards to call pets into combat, maybe, along with crafting materials and straight up upgraded weapons, like this +8 greatsword. Yeah, this is pure pay to win right from the start. After claiming hundreds of free items the game generously gives us just for existing, we also get a new sword that we can't even use until level 30 for some reason, so that's always good. We also got a bunch of random enchantments and crafting materials. Okay, with that out of the way, let's press on. Now that we're in the open world, I've noticed something. The camera gets really blurry whenever we move it. It did this a little bit in the instance tutorial, but here it's way worse. Okay, we do the obligatory help the wounded soldiers quest at the start of every MMO, then head out of the camp to kill some monsters. Time to see if combat is exactly the same as before. Okay, we face tank some treants and zombies, and something suddenly hits me. Other than their names, we have zero information about the enemies. I can see my health bar above my head and up in the top left corner, but the enemies don't seem to have levels or health bars at all. How am I supposed to know how dangerous they are, or how close they are to dying? They just sort of fall over after a set number of hits, unless we randomly crit them, and then they fall over slightly faster. It's all very disconnected, like swinging at pinatas full of blood and guts. We run into that mini-boss from the intro cutscene, and the fight consists of standing toe-to-toe with him and smacking him repeatedly with our greatsword until he collapses. Very tactical and very strategic, I must say. Then, a floating half-naked woman shows up just to taunt us, because apparently that's her entire job description. Our reward, a pair of boots that don't even change how we look, and we're then told to head to the nearby village, because the world apparently needs our heroic auto-pathing skills. Once we enter the little settlement, a menu pops up on the left showing various traders and services in the area. Clicking on any of them sends you auto-pathing straight to that NPC, who then delivers whatever quest or service you're there for. It's efficient, sure, but it feels like the game refuses to trust me with basic navigation. I can see the vendors on my HUD, but not on the minimap, which is quite strange. After smacking a few more treants and heretics, curiosity kicks in. I flip on the auto-pathing to see what happens while I go make a cup of tea. If the game is determined to play itself, I might as well stay hydrated while it's doing it. And the answer is nothing. Once you've completed the objective to kill X amount of enemies, the game just walks you back to a designated spot and leaves you standing there like a confused statue. On the bright side though, I'm full HP thanks to the non-stop auto health potion spam during combat, so at least the game cares about my well-being while it refuses to do anything interesting. After a few more tiny quests, we hit level 10. A milestone worth celebrating, of course, and the game agrees. It rewards us with a level 10 achievement special offer. Brilliant. Let's have a look at what it is. It's a lovely $2.99 shop bundle. Wow, so generous. Thank you so much, game. We're then introduced to weapon upgrading using some sort of stones we collected earlier. It bumps up our stats a little, which is fine, but I can already sense this system is turning into a wallet-thirsty monster later on. We'll have to see. I have to say, in some aspects, I do like the visual environments here. The aesthetics are strong. It's just a shame that so far they've been mostly narrow paths connecting tiny openings, like a fantasy hallway simulator. I then accidentally press the R key and discover it scans the area, giving you a list of nearby creatures. An interesting mechanic. Not sure how useful it will become though. Okay, we're at another boss battle, which means it's time for our patented strategy. Slam ourselves into the monster until it dies, as it works every single time. Next, we chat with a lost wraith who sounds like he's been holding in a bathroom break for a full century. And another boss battle pops up, but I can't show the cutscene that plays beforehand because the floating naked lady from the intro has returned. Sorry lads, but YouTube doesn't allow that kind of fan service here. During the fight, I had to answer the door, leaving my mighty berserker alone. I genuinely thought I might actually come back to be dead this time. Instead, I returned to find the game in power saver mode, which is very strange for a PC game. One click and the boss is already dead. Victory! I guess. We then chat with a merchant who gives us a lift to a new town. A nice change of scenery, I guess, as it's actually sunny here. Once we're there, we briefly meet Lefo of Galay from The Witcher. Sorry, I mean Hugo. Totally different bald guy with a deep voice and armour, of course. Then, we're told to go speak to Jon Snow. I mean Bertram. Sorry, my apologies again. We level up and unlock the special corpse missions. These look like side objectives to the main story. Usually tasks like defeating a set number of enemies, for example, which reward XP, gold, and a random loot chest, so I'll accept this for now. I open my inventory to equip the new armour we just got, and start digging through some of the random junk the game has been throwing at us as we level up. First up, I find some Holy Garment summoning scrolls, which triggers a Gacha game style animation and gives us a random outfit. Okay, that's interesting. Looking closer, it actually has stats built in and compares it to our recruit armour that we're wearing now. Okay, so that makes sense. This explains why our armour upgrades haven't changed our appearance so far. You don't just upgrade your current gear, you need these scrolls to summon rare outfits that actually carry stats and change how you look. I have two normal Holy Garment scrolls, which I obviously open. One of them at least gives us something that actually looks like armour instead of just some clothes. Next, I try out some familiar summon scrolls to see if we get any of those little pets I've noticed other players running around with. Gotta say, the animation for this is actually pretty nice. Definitely a satisfying little flourish, I must say. Then, I spot a rare armour scroll in our inventory and pop it open. And we get a rare Sailor of the Horizon outfit. Okay, not exactly the dark fantasy vibe I was hoping for game, but this is okay, the stats are insane. I mean, with the stats being like this, I'd be a fool not to wear it at this point. It's just a massive shame that we went from looking like young Guts to Gale wearing the Wave Mother's robe in Baldur's Gate. After some fiddling around in the menu, I finally find where we can equip our new gear, and also see the full list of outfits you can pull. And wow, some of these are very OTT mobile game style outfits. Also, I do like a particular black armour set though, I'll give them that. With our super magic awesome set equipped, we carry on, ready to smash more enemies, collect loot, and question every design choice along the way. We finally unlocked the world map. Yep, we didn't have a world map until now. And yeah, I can definitely see our stats have gone up. We're slicing through enemies here in just a few hits now. While running towards our next objective, I noticed the item collection screen. This feels very similar to what Throne and Liberty has. If you have old gear or duplicates of gear, you can submit them into this catalogue. The items are destroyed, but completing sections rewards permanent stat boosts, or something even better like better gear. Honestly, I don't mind this system at all. It gives a reason to grind specific monsters to fill your collection log, which adds a little sense of purpose to what could otherwise be mindless loot spam. I equipped one of the new pets, a little Groot looking fellow, who gives us a flat 20% XP bonus, which is huge. Then, I noticed something interesting. When we complete quests, the game actually shows what percentage of the XP bar the reward will fill. So instead of saying 1000 XP, it might show 25% of this level's bar. I can't say I've ever seen that in an MMORPG before. We get a nice new sword from a quest, and this one actually changes our character model, so at least we have some visual progression somewhere. Next, a guide task, the green one's in the top right, tells us to enhance our armour again. I head over to it and immediately see a scary warning at the bottom of the screen. It says equipment can be destroyed, lost. I try it with our earring as well, check the success rate on the rate button at the bottom, and even at this low level, with weak starter gear, there's a 20% chance of our gear getting completely destroyed. Not fail an upgrade or waste the stones, straight up gone. That is absolutely wild. Another boss fight pops up, and as always, we defeat it using our patented super special technique, smash face into enemy until it dies, which works every time. Next, we meet Yennefer of Belinda the Sorceress, who serves the king and protects his children. Curious about the dungeons, I try to join one, only to find we need to be level 25. Looks like it's time to grind a bit so we can actually check out the lower level dungeon content. Here's to hoping it's actually worth the wait. After grinding some quests for a while to hit the level as fast as possible, I notice a world boss marked on the map, complete with timers showing when they spawn. One nearby is apparently active, so I head over to see if we can take it on. When I arrive, there's a group of what looks like higher level players, which is hard to tell since we can't see anyone's level, just hanging around waiting to start a fight. We finally engage, and all of my attacks are missing. Yep, looks like the level of this boss is too high for me right now. So looks like we're going to give this world boss a miss for now. So, after finally reaching level 25, let's try and queue for a dungeon. And we'll select this one, the first one I guess, and see what we can do. Okay, we're straight in. Looks like there's another player here, but it doesn't look like we're actually in a party together, which is strange. Let's check the map and... oh no, this isn't actually a dungeon, is it? People aren't here to fight bosses, they're just AFK grinding mobs. This is a spot for mindless loot farming, I think. Wow, I've spent nearly 3 hours grinding to get this level, and this is what it's for. Oh god. Looking back, I saw a timer on each dungeon that resets each week, so it looks like you can only be here for 7 hours at a time. That means that people just save their time up and come and AFK farm mobs for loot. And of course, it looks like you can refresh the timer faster in the cash shop. Yep, that's it. I'm done with this game. So, Raven 2. That was certainly interesting, I must say. Let's look at a few pros and cons quickly before I wrap this up. Pros. The graphics are solid, especially for a mobile port. The grounded medieval fantasy armor sets and character models do look good. The animations are decent, with monsters reacting appropriately to your hits. The sound design for abilities and attacks works well. Hits feel weighty and punchy when you're hitting them with their weapons. Some systems, like the collection log, are a clever idea. If implemented correctly, they could even work in some Western MMORPGs. And the cons. It's massively pay to win straight from the start. You can buy power immediately, giving players a huge advantage. The combat is heavily automated. You're basically encouraged to switch on auto attack and AFK through most encounters. You can AFK the first at least 5 or 6 story bosses and just rely on auto healing potions. And there's no real tactical depth. Dodging attacks or timing abilities isn't necessary. Quests can be auto run as well. Dialogue is automatically skipped if you're AFK. So in theory, you could log in, turn on auto run and not even look at the screen all day. The weapon enchantment system is very predatory. Upgrading your gear carries a risk of destruction, clearly nudging players towards the cash shop for upgrade stones or better gear. And I could go on and on honestly with this one. Overall, if you're a casual MMO player who doesn't have the time to fully commit to a proper MMORPG anymore, Raven 2 might work for you. It's a kind of game you could play casually or keep on your second monitor while working or just watching YouTube while it auto runs for you. For anyone else, whether you're completely new to MMORPGs or a veteran of the genre, I give this one a miss. There are definitely better places to scratch the MMORPG itch for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video more than I enjoyed playing Raven 2. Though to be fair, that isn't a very high bar to beat. If you had a good time, please consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more from me in the future, hit that subscribe button. That's all from me today. This has been Firebeard, and I'll see you next time.